giant skillet. And I've seen it in a couple other Dollywood videos, and I was drawn to it. Almost inexplicably, but at the same time, obviously. This thing is impressively large even in person, and apparently the Skillet Master Cricket has been working at Dollywood since the day it opened, so she knows what she's doing with that giant skillet.
Big skillet. Huge!
And because it is Harvest Festival time, there is a special Harvest Succotash on the menu, which is packed full of fall vegetables like butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, and lightly spiced sausage, all simple, but like needed. You know?
Yeah.
You need some vegetables? Yeah, I kind of do. It is a pretty straightforward dish, and it doesn't taste super complex, but it is hearty and warm and lightly charred. A pretty good showing from the giant skillet.
These are probably my favorite part, actually. These little onions. Normal like popping boba.
Small onions or popping boba?
You decide.
Now, just a few steps down the road from the big skillet is an iconic Dollywood snack, the kettle corn from Country Cooker's Kettle Corn, which is a must-get. Actually, not as large of a skillet, but another large skillet.
The theme of the section is skillet.
The theme of the section is large iron pan. And though I wouldn't say I am the biggest kettle corn fan, I was an instant fan of Kettle Corn Master Rick. I got the tactical gear, yes. I feel like I could use some tactical popcorn gear.
Yeah.
Right? Though the gear is not just for intimidation factor, as apparently the kernels can pop up to 5 feet out of the kettle. So it's more of a kettle corn battle than you would expect. Thank you so much.
Anything welcome.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Making it rain!
Let's go! And I'm not trying to simp for Rick here, but this is potentially a notch above other kettle corn I've tried. Honestly, to me, kettle corn makes more sense fresh.
Yeah.
It was warm, sweet, and oily, but still very light, and I could potentially taste a little bit of that kettle. There's like a little bit of like char, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I never really put together the kettle component of the kettle corn.
You forgot about the kettle.
Yeah, I forget. I always sleep on the kettle.
It's almost as important as the corn. But in order to avoid turning this video into 24 hours of kettle corn munching...
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we're just munching right now.
Well,
You want to show me into the bag and then we can keep going?
I don't know. Could do a video.
We had to move on to our next stop.
Tyler did most of the damage, but he ate most of it already.
That's what it's there for.
Go.
After our snack intermission, we power strolled through the rest of Rivertown Junction, named for all of the water around here, I think, past a few literally 1,000-pound giant pumpkins. Imagine sending in your 500-pound pumpkin and thinking it was going to be big enough, okay? Because it's not. Past this recreation of Dolly's childhood Tennessee mountain home, and also past a very glitzy and glam gift shop, which it was hard not to stop and shop at. I said I wasn't sure about cowboy boots all day at Dollywood, but these are pretty awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at those.
That's a lot of shimmer.
Before we veered to the right to get to our next land on the map, the village. There is a county fair area below here, which is like a kids' carnival ride area, but we're here on this side of the park for the Dollywood Express, which is a coal-fired steam train which takes you on a 5-mile journey around the foothills of the Smoky Mountains.
A lot of my hairline in this video.
Basically around the circumference of the entire park, giving you a preview of some of the other lands and coasters to come. And I will say, it is pretty cute and calming and authentic, as the engine does blow off cinders into the air. I actually noticed, I took some detail shots. I do notice some cinders.
Yeah.
I think one did enter the eye, but I'm okay.
Right.
It was not a medical emergency.
Yes.
The train conductor did specifically say that cinder in the eye was not a medical emergency, and please not to pull the emergency line, or else. I was not going to pull the string under any circumstances. But after our 20-minute ride on the Dollywood Express, despite being pretty cindered, I could still see, and I was ready to see, more of the park.
Oh, it smells incredible.
I'm smelling stuff.
Yeah.
I smell different smells from all directions. Cinnamon and barbecue sauce. Next up on the map was Craftsman's Valley, which is the main area that features Dollywood's signature local artisans and craftsmen, both to showcase their talents, and also so guests can participate in the making of a craft of their choosing. There's a glass-blowing installation, they have a blacksmith, they have a leathersmith, they have a candle-making shop, which I feel like seems like a natural fit for us, but we're actually doing another different wax-themed activity later. We're actually here to eat and see the birds. Just to satisfy my curiosity, we did try a pumpkin spiced rib from Miss Lillian's barbecue corner, which was nice, smoky, and tangy, but I wasn't sure if I could actually detect any pumpkin.
Imagine a pumpkin spice latte, back out the latte. Is there any of that flavor? Carry the one.
Mostly meat, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say mostly smoked meat.
But the must-try in Craftsman's Valley is the cinnamon bread, which is a Dollywood classic made fresh daily in this fully functional grist mill,
Is it like a Roman aqueduct? Like, what's going on here?
which is an exact replica of a water-powered mill, as it would have been in the 1800s, when people in the Smoky Mountains relied on them to grind corn and wheat.
Oh, it smells incredible.
It smells so good. You can smell it.
And this cinnamon bread does smell amazing,
Oh, wow.
but once you're confronted with it head-on, it is a pretty formidable hunk of marinated bread.
Oh, and there's a pool of something at the bottom.
It looks like butter.
Could be drenched in butter.
But I can confirm the flavor is great.
Whoa, I do believe it's butter. Oh, hold on. That was very amazing, but also just butter.
Yeah.
Let me try the other side.
Yeah, dig in deeper.
It's warm, fluffy, very sweet and sugared cinnamony,
Oh, wow. The head pivot.
Unbelievable.
but I was glad that at the base, you could still taste that it was bread under there and not like cake or pastry, so there was some grounding to the whole thing.
It's like shades of the Cinnabon without the complete cream overload.
Right. No frosting, bread.
And though it is a very rich and decadent snack, that did stop me from going back in for a second piece.
Oh, I think I'm starting to have a pretty good time at Dollywood.
That's the line you wanted to take?
I swear it's a TikTok trend.
Oh, okay. Tom goes, let me slide in, I want to take another line. And that's what she comes back with.
Okay, what's next?
After our off-camera hands had had their fill of cinnamon bread, we ran into Miss Lillian, aka the Chicken Lady, who is one of the only roaming face characters at Dollywood.
Oh, there's chicken paparazzi everywhere today.
But unlike with somewhere like Disney or Universal, I don't think there are multiple actors who play her. I believe there is only one Miss Lillian, and she is not based on anyone from Dolly's life, but is her own very vibrant character.
Now look at here. I think we need a chicken interview. Oh,
I have to be honest, I was at least one step behind on the chicken improv.
that's the way through. Let me see a story of that's
And my chicken dance did leave a bit to be desired,
Oh, she's a chicken influencer. Makes me want to go.
but I will happily accept the title of chicken influencer, although it did seem like she was one step away from giving that title to Tyler instead.
What's your beauty secret?
Fast roller coasters.
Oh, that's true. It'll fluff you up real good.
Though influenced by Miss Lillian, I did decide it was finally time to find a hat, and picked one up at the Valley Hat Shop a little bit up the pathway.
An option, right? An option.
Though there were quite the variety of hats for sale here,
Let's give him Joe Exotic.
Oh, exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, perfect.
I decided to go with this one with the sort of winged up brim.
This one's kind of cute.
Big time brim?
I like the exaggerated side flip.
Yeah.
I feel like in its own way it's kind of witchy, which is what put it over the edge for me, and at some point in the video, I will start wearing it for good.
I have to decide when I want to begin having full-on hat hair in this video.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It might start now. The hat hair might start now.
Now, our next stop is technically still in Craftsman's Valley, even though we are winding our way up the right edge of the park here.
I can see the giant owl in the distance, right?
Yeah.
We're approaching the birds. The birds are coming.
Yes, next up is Dollywood's Eagle Mountain Sanctuary, which is actually home to the country's largest collection of non-releasable American bald eagles, as well as a bunch of other birds.
Look at them all sitting there.
They are bald.
Dolly is a big fan of everything Smoky Mountains, including their birds of prey. She and I have that in common because as I have the wingspan of a turkey vulture, I do feel a special connection to them.
All right, we're gonna get to meet a bird.
Yeah. You're hoping for an owl.
I don't know. We'll see.
First up on the glove was Challenger, who is actually actually a famous bald eagle, a bird influencer, if you will.
He reminds me a lot of my cat, so I'm having to really control the impulse, just be like, "Rrr."
Oh yeah, the pet. Well, he might just pet your back and you
Yeah.
don't want that. So.
And as a lowly chicken influencer, I was pretty in awe to be in his presence. Though at 35 years old, he is now retired.
35.
All right, both millennials.
Yeah.
We have that in common.
Over the years, he's flown in commercials, over NASCAR races, and even NFL games.
Has he been to an Eagles game?
Yes, so he was the Philadelphia Eagles mascot there for a little while.
He was the eagle.
He was the Eagle.
Yeah.
Tyler's probably seen him before then.
And I had been crossing my fingers all day that we might get to meet an owl, and then suddenly, BlahSrah appeared, who was amazing and extremely tiny and an eastern screech owl.
Oh my god.
He's so cute. This one also looks like my cat.
He lost his eye after being hit by a car, but with the one eye he had remaining, he was surveying us quite intensely.
He does look like Cosmo.
How you doing?
He literally is camouflaging into the background. I'm like, where is he?
And though Buster may not be a bird influencer like Challenger, he is famous to me.
He's totally posing.
There's also some bird living quarters right behind the bird theater.
There are some more birds over here. I think this is like their house. Sadly, the turkey vulture, not in the building today, but there is another owl named Desi, and he's looking a little sassy right now.
I was very happy to see Desi, though I hope he was not so disgusted with us that he involuntarily vomited.
Oh my god! Is he about to cough up a hairball or is he yawning? Oh my god, he's totally about to cough up a hairball. Hi!
Oh, he definitely swallowed it.
Oh, he's so cat.
Now, kind of glossing over Owen's farm to the left, which is another one of the 11 lands, we rounded the corner in the back of the park to enter our next land, Wilderness Pass.
Ooh, spooky.
I don't think it's quite yet, but at some point, the spooky lights come on.
And on the horizon appeared a very intimidating sight,
Look at that roller coaster.
That's what we're doing.
I know.
We're doing that.
I'm excited.
the Wild Eagle roller coaster, which was technically our next stop.
He said, look at those claws.
I know. Go birds.
The Wild Eagle is America's first wing coaster, where you, the rider, are basically suspended from the end of this giant eagle's wing with your legs dangling in the air.
That's gonna be us.
It'll be fine, right? I'm not gonna re-eat that cinnamon bread, am I?
You might.
And initially, I thought that I could embody the spirit of Challenger, upgrade myself to a birdfluencer, and fly like an eagle, but the whole feet dangling thing really freaked me out, actually. And I ended up having to close my eyes for the entire ride.
It was that one was too scary for me.
That was fast.
I didn't like the no feet thing. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Tyler apparently did keep his eyes open
Yes.
and pointed
Double pointed.
at the camera, maybe.
One's on the drop and one's on the loop.
Okay, you're not showing them your hair enough. Tyler looks like the owl.
Yeah.
No, doesn't he look like the owl?
Screeching owl.
And in addition to wrecking Tyler's hair, this ride also produced one of the most unflattering images of me of all time.
A lot of smiles being had there.
Thoroughly shaken up, we passed some lounging pumpkins and made our way to our next activity at the Hansville Wax Company.
I promised a wax activity, right?
Yes.
As the name implies, at Hansville, you basically just make a wax cast of your hand, which was enough of a sell for me.
I like the tactile element, so I chose this.
Yes.
And surveying their past work, I quite liked the Quiet Coyote and the Grope, but in the end decided to go for the classic rock and roll hands.
One, two, three.
And basically, the way the molding works is that the attendant alternates dipping your hand into the hot paraffin wax and then into the ice water.
Oh yeah, I felt it harden. Oh yeah. It was funny. Yeah.
To build up a layered wax mold.
Woo! You're gonna wash your hands. Nice. Oh my god, Ty, look.
Then they dip that into your choice of colored wax to give it some flair and fill it up with paraffin pellets. And voila, you have a wax replica of your hand.
I kind of love it, actually.
It's my hand.
Yeah. Cute.
Two right hands, wait.
Thing from the Addams Family vibes intensify.
It's my disembodied hand.
So with our hand in hand, we headed through the rest of Wilderness Pass, deep into the back part of the park.
I feel like we've officially reached the point where I would say Dollywood's pretty big,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel like we've advanced. Like this is a new extra area of the park, right?
Keeps going.
It does keep going.
This land in the far back here is called Wildwood Grove and is the newest land in Dollywood, having opened in 2019. It's kind of a kid-oriented family fun area, but it is very pretty back here, and weaving around the whole land is the track of the Big Bear Mountain Coaster, which is the longest ride at Dollywood with over 3,900 feet of track.
Okay, this is the roller coaster in question.
Yes.
We're doing this one.
Yes.
People are screaming, but it doesn't look as bad. Honestly.
No.
There aren't a lot of drops or hills, but don't let the low altitude deceive you. It is pretty fast and exhilarating, and operates kind of like a Hot Wheels track, where there are like accelerators throughout that blast you through the nice evening mountain air. It was, however, unintimidating enough for me to finally also keep my eyes open and attempt to point at our cameraman on the ground.
Where is he? Where is he?
However, I would be surprised if I pointed in the right direction even once.
Okay.
That one was the best.
Yeah, that was good.
Mostly fun, not very scary.
No.
Not scary farms. Only Dollywood, wholesome fun.
Now, to complete our park loop, we headed back through Wildwood Grove and down Timber Canyon, which is sort of like the back alley that will take you back to the front of the park. There are a few coasters and a pretty big drop ride back here, but we were pretty singularly focused on seeing all the pumpkins, because this is also where the Great Pumpkin Luminites Walk was. Although I think technically we were going through it backwards, I did enjoy the flock of grinning jack-o'-lanterns, the lit-up pumpkin alleyway, and the pumpkin discotheque.
Go disco?
Rave pumpkin, rave pumpkin. I hope she pays hot to go. It's a pumpkin rave.
And after passing the signature Dolly giant butterfly made of pumpkins, we were back where we had started at Show Street.
We have saved the Dolly paraphernalia and the pie for last.
Now, though I would say there is definitely some Dolly theming throughout the park, it's a little bit less in your face than you might think from the name Dollywood, but there is one region of the park right below Show Street that is 100% Dolly, the Dolly Parton experience.
Do you perhaps see that giant purple thing?
I do.
That's where we're going.
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
Which is an area that houses the sort of Dolly museum aspects of the park. Inside this giant purple butterfly building is an exhibit called Songteller,
That hair. Iconic.
which takes you through Dolly's life from her childhood in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, onto Nashville, and eventually the world stage, as well as highlights her current philanthropic work.
Books, birds, butterflies, Battlestar Galactica.
Hell yeah.
That's a lot of books, man.
That's a lot of books. Wow, yeah.
There's also another exhibit called Behind the Seams, which houses many iconic Dolly outfits and wigs,
I like how you can tell Dolly is short and stacked.
as well as a recreation of Dolly's tour bus as it would have been when she was traveling the country on tour. And after soaking it all in, I did feel pretty ready to head back to our hotel, but we promised everyone some pie, so we swung by the Spotlight Bakery in Show Street near the entrance, which sells the famous 25-pound apple pie, baked to perfection in a cast iron skillet. Now, we had absolutely no delusions of being able to eat 25 pounds of apple pie.
Actually, there's weight to this.
So we ordered a 3-pound slice of apple pie to go, which was still pretty insane looking in its sizable box.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this? Pie for giants? Actually, I feel like an American Girl doll. Like, I feel like I'm an American Girl doll. This is like a human-sized piece of cake.
And with our box o' pie under my arm, we passed through the Dollywood Emporium on our way to the exit.
It's a vest for your doggy, Parton.
And then it was out into the crisp night to hike over to the trolley stop, which would take us back to our hotel.
I am sitting above the wheel. There's no room for you here, actually.
Yeah.
You need your own thing.
I'll sit there.
Now, we were staying at the Dreammore Resort, which is one of 2 official Dollywood hotels, which I think is supposed to have sort of like a Dolly's house kind of vibe, and it's quite nice overall.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
In the room, there are some nice themed touches. It's not too overt, but there are some butterflies, some guitars, some more butterflies.
So that's also a butterfly.
Well, yeah.
This also.
And a glamorous dressing room style vanity.
I do have to say that the lighting is super nice, like vanity lighting.
That's great.
Like, I'm in my tour bus, this is my vanity lighting. Me and my pie.
But we weren't here just to crash, as it was time to crack open our pie box and confront our destiny.
I'm trying to not tear it while also providing a view of the amount of apples in here.
That's a lot of apple.
That's so much apple.
Now this thing is f***ing crazy, and it's almost a challenge in itself to figure out how to construct a good bite.
I gotta extract some crust and then potentially spear a few apples, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, this is my bite.
But after some investigative forking and surveying and biting,
Cinnamony.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I actually think this pie has the right amount of apples, because if it had more crust, it would just be like a brick.
I mean, it's pretty good actually. Actually, I'm getting some sugar. Actually, I like it.
And once Tyler cracked into it,
Oh, that's surprisingly refreshing. That's really fruit.
he seemed like he was happy to graze on it for the next couple of hours.
You know what? It's kind of like a Chicago-style pizza,
Oh, it really is.
right?
Yeah.
And after about 14 hours and 20,000 steps at Dollywood, our doggy partons were barking. So in terms of our 24-hour counter,
I think we're allowed to spend at least 10 of those hours sleeping.
Yeah. I'm gonna say about like an hour and a half for a bath.
so I guess to answer my question from the beginning of the video of what is Dollywood, it actually turned out to be much more of an amusement park than a Dolly-themed park. Because as Tyler's hair can attest to, there is a pretty serious arsenal of high-octane roller coasters and other rides and food and crafts. So if you are the only person in the world who doesn't like Dolly Parton, you'd probably still have a good time. I would specifically recommend the Big Bear Mountain Coaster, the Kettle Corn, especially if it's freshly popped by Rick, and the birds, specifically Buster, the Eastern Screech Owl. But as for me, it's about time to head back down the mountain.
It's 24 hours later. Came here with a dream, and I'm leaving with a hat.
Subscribe for more owl content. And I'm being serious about that this time.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be staying at the world's largest hotel. It's right behind me, isn't it?
In 2004, Taipei 101 became the world's tallest building, stealing the title from the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, which had held it since 1998. And I can only imagine this pissed off Malaysia pretty bad, as, not to be outdone again, in 2015 they opened the largest hotel in the world, the First World Hotel in Malaysia's Genting Highlands. And I've been dying to go there since 2019, as after our bachelor/bachelorette trip to Vegas, Tyler offhandedly mentioned that he was pretty sure the Palazzo Mega Resort in Vegas was the largest hotel in the world. But after a quick Google search, he was swiftly rebuked, as it actually placed second in the rankings, losing out to none other than the First World Hotel all the way in Malaysia. Take that, Taipei 101. And being in the midst of all of these giant Vegas casinos, I thought, how can there possibly be a bigger hotel than this? Or this? Or this? I must stay there. And from that moment on, we had a new bucket list item. Not only because we are on a quest to stay at every weird hotel in existence, but also because it looks like an incredibly unique experience. I mean, look at it. It's a multicolored behemoth sticking out of the side of a mountain. You reach it via gondola, and it comes complete with a mall, casino, and an indoor and outdoor theme park to boot. What? And so we engineered a filming trip specifically to get us to Malaysia, so we could document our experience staying at the largest hotel in the world, and give you guys the full scoop. Gird your loins, people. We're going in. Now, when you're on the other side of the world, thousands of feet up a mountain, you're probably gonna want some data to maybe upload an Insta story to say, hey, I'm here, or also mostly to make sure you don't get lost up there, in which case, you might want to check out the sponsor of today's video, Saily, brought to you by the same people who made NordVPN. Now, if you don't know, Saily is an eSIM provider that lets you easily purchase data plans whenever you travel internationally. And as we have traveled to a variety of different places on this channel, I can tell you that there's really no better feeling than arriving to a new place, being able to turn on your phone, and knowing that you immediately have data, and don't have to skip a beat. So you can figure out how to get to your hotel, message your mom, or check the Sixers score. Seems like they lost.
No tank. It's good.
I want to keep the pick.
And the easiest way to do this while avoiding 1. Waiting in line at the airport to buy a SIM card, or 2. Paying expensive roaming fees from your domestic phone plan is to use an eSIM from Saily. All you need to do is download the app, purchase a plan for the country you're traveling to, and then activate the plan on your phone. And boom, The clouds have parted, the sun is shining, you have data. Saily has different sized affordable data plans, including unlimited data in over 190 countries, as well as global and regional plans in case you're planning to visit several countries in one trip. So don't get lost in the Malaysian mountains because you don't have data. Get an eSIM with Saily, and you can get an exclusive 15% off by using code Sophia at checkout on the Saily app or at saily.com/Sophia. But without further ado, back to Malaysia. And let's check out this hotel. So Genting Highlands is about an hour's drive from Kuala Lumpur, despite the way it looks in this crazy photo we saw online where it looks super close. So on our first morning in KL, we awoke bright and early and hopped in a van to drive up the mountain. Now the actual technical Genting Highlands is the name for the resort area at the top of Mount Ulukali, which sits at about 6,000 feet above sea level. And though you can technically drive all the way to the top, the more fun way to get there is via gondola that will sail you straight into the hotel. So like 3/4 of the way up the mountain, we stopped at an outlet mall / gondola station called the Awana Skyway.
My ears did pop on the drive, or maybe they kind of didn't, and now I kind of have to try and pop them.
Yeah.
But that might just be my state of being for the next 24 hours.
And though I certainly wouldn't say it's chilly up here, it is much more temperate than the tropical July Kuala Lumpur heat.
I did see someone wearing a full-on jacket, so I think that Malaysians think it's cold.
So we headed into the Skyway itself, in which the giant hotel hype train was already starting strong.
Look, it's time to whoop it up.
That's gonna be us. Whooping, baby.
I guess we're gonna be channeling the Real Housewives of Orange County while we're up here, which is okay by me.
A small note, but I just want to get a shot of it. I think this baby 7-Eleven. Isn't it so cute?
But not to get distracted by the shops and restaurants, we headed to the top floor,
My ears popped.
Oh yeah?
I got it.
Lucky.
which is where the gondolas launch from. And then we scanned our tickets and hopped into our waiting sky chariot.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Ooh. I made it.
What happened to you?
I almost fell. Oh. Yeah.
And with a jounce and a rumble, we were off.
Ooh. Nailed it. Goodbye, outlet malls.
There was a large Baskin Robbins that I was interested in, but we gotta get up.
Yeah.
Now we sprung for the fancy glass-bottomed gondola versus the normal-bottomed ones, but
It doesn't actually add that much to the view. It just makes it more terrifying.
Yeah.
Because the great view is through the windows.
Right.
This is just scary.
and frankly, the view out the windows is pretty amazing, because on a clear day like this, you can not only see the whole mountainside, you can also see all the way back to what I'm pretty sure is Kuala Lumpur's city center.
You know what this mountain needs? A casino.
I was just thinking that.
Now after passing the picturesque Chinsui Temple on the way up the mountain, which is a really serene pit stop that I would recommend if you have the time, as you approach the summit, you start to see a few other buildings on the horizon.
I think that's it.
I'm not sure it is, actually.
Well, the problem is that there's like 8 hotels up there.
Right.
So it could be any of them.
Yeah.
It's up there.
But after rounding the bend past a couple red herring tiny hotels, we caught our first glimpse of our striped destination.
Uh-oh. I'm seeing some rainbow, baby.
I hear the theme
Oh
park.
my god.
And after years of anticipation, we finally laid eyes on the world's largest hotel,
That's a lot of rooms, baby.
confirmed by the giant theme park flanking it to the right.
We wanted to come here like forever.
Yeah, it's really 5 years.
That's just a moment.
Oh, it looks packed.
Now this is what dreams are made of, people.
Hello, Genting.
Okay, so before we dive in, we have sort of mentioned some of the stuff that's up here. There's a couple theme parks, a mall, and a giant hotel, but I don't think we fully explained the gist of the entire Genting Highlands, which is overall kind of like a giant resort campus with a bunch of different buildings. I think at least most of them are under the general Resorts World umbrella. Yes, that's the same Resorts World as the one on the Vegas Strip, as well as on Sentosa Island in Singapore.
Okay, it's simultaneously crazy, but also kind of looks like the Resorts World building.
Yeah.
And a lot of the different buildings are connected to each other via this giant mall, which is where the gondola dropped us off, Sky Avenue. We're going to be spending a lot of time in here, so we'll loop back around and show you guys more of it in a second, but it also contains the indoor theme park, Skytropolis, the Sky Casino, and has an entrance to the outdoor outdoor theme park, Sky Worlds.
All right, so we actually came to this like parking lot in the back to try and get a shot of the Rainbow Towers. It's kind of hard to get a shot of them because they are attached to the giant mall that you are consistently walking through.
Yeah.
But there it is, the largest hotel in the world.
And Genting Highlands as a resort area has been a thing since the early 1970s, with a general idea of being a refreshing mountain resort to cater to Malaysians and tourists alike.
There is also some weather rolling in, it looks like.
And besides First World Hotel, there are 7 other hotels in this general area. A couple that are actually newer and nicer than First World Hotel, a few that are on the older side, and one that is apparently super haunted.
Mystery building.
Although people also say that First World Hotel is haunted too, so that's not my favorite fact ever. And the First World Hotel is made up of 3 towers, the most recent of which, Tower 2A, which opened in 2014, actually snatched the title of world's largest hotel back from the Palazzo in Las Vegas, as apparently the two had been going back and forth before then.
This makes me want to go to Vegas, stand outside the Palazzo and go, haha, suck on that.
Okay, so with that all established, let's head back inside before any rain clouds roll in. Now back inside the giant mall, Sky Avenue, one of the things we noticed right off the bat is just how damn bright it is, as it is covered in a giant continuous screen that spans almost every available surface.
The entire mall is a TV screen.
Yeah, it really is.
And it does make any time spent in here a pretty overstimulating experience, like you are a tiny baby with a giant iPad.
Resorts World has seen stats about screen time. They're like, we can beat those numbers.
These are rookie numbers, okay? We need to get these numbers up.
And kind of like a retail store playlist, the screen plays the same 5 or 6 ads on loop, so they get burned into your brain pretty quickly.
It's Durian Fest 2024.
It's like the Malaysian wing bowl.
Until the day I die, I will never forget Durian Fest 2024.
I want Durian Fest, baby. Where is Durian Fest?
Where is Durian Fest?
Now, aside from the whole giant screen thing, it is a pretty good mall with a very solid store selection, as well as some fun Genting-themed souvenir shops, which we of course stopped by.
What happens in Genting stays in Genting. Oh, sorry, no, never mind. It's always happening in Genting.
They were also giving out some free samples of durian chocolate that my durian brainwashed mind could not resist,
Smells potent.
Oh, yeah?
which was really not as bad as it sounds.
Oh, wow. Savory.
Creamy.
The chocolate does sort of temper out the initial durian kick, though it does have a pretty strong aftertaste that lingers.
We get some?
We gotta take some home.
Yeah. Let's taste it.
Now, as the catchphrase on my tote bag implies, the Genting Highlands overall does have a sort of Vegas-y vibe to it, and beyond just shopping, it has a lot of the touristy staples that a Vegas or a Pigeon Forge or like a Myrtle Beach might have. Like on the top floor, they have a Ripley's Adventureland,
Which I've never heard of.
What is that?
It's usually like a museum.
Yeah, it's a place where you believe things and you don't believe things.
which, believe it or not, ended up being more like a Dave & Buster's than a museum, with like an arcade, go-karts,
There's a Pizza Hut and dinosaurs.
Yes.
The ticket booth is a Trojan horse.
along with a fish catching station and a fish pedicure station.
Those guys seem really big.
They've been eating well.
Don't they seem bigger than usual?
I don't know about you, but I am not putting my foot in there. Like Vegas, there are also a lot of restaurants up here, and even some celebrity chef restaurants, more on that in a bit, as well as one of our favorites,
Ooh, did I phone stop?
Did I fun?
Yeah,
Should we go?
that's a game changer.
Right now? Post haste?
which yes, does have a location in Vegas too. And then finally, to complete the Vegas comparison, one of the major draws is that there is a Sky Casino here. However, unlike a Vegas casino, this one is much more serious, and you would be much more ill-advised to film in there.
You can't help it.
No.
No, it's gonna be like Tyler didn't go in just to see it, but apparently there were like signs every 5 feet being like, do not film or you will be prosecuted. I'm not gonna.
Not in foreign countries.
If you want to see what the Sky Casino looks like, you're gonna have to come yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. We can't show you.
So after that roller coaster of emotions, we figured it was time to escape the bright lights and check out our digs for the night. Now, the First World Hotel is the world's largest by number of rooms,
Whoa, 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 don't block how many rooms there are.
Let's f***ing go! Which means on any given day, there are a lot of guests trying to check in. And accordingly, the check-in lobby is pretty crazy. Aside from being packed, it has many self-check-in kiosks for those who have a handle on things, and a nice long line for those who need some assistance.
I need some help.
I need some help.
Yeah. How do we do anything?
anything.
And I think it's pretty self-aware about how overwhelming it is, because it also has like a serene decompression station in the corner.
That's not a wall or a screen. Those are clouds.
With frankly stunning views of the cloud-covered rolling mountainside, as well as manual-powered elliptical machines to sweat off the check-in blues. After grabbing our keys, we set off down this very long corridor towards our elevator bank, which was lined with a bunch of enticing-looking cafes and some very enticing views of the mountainside out the window, which only got better once we rode the elevator up to the 27th floor.
Oh my.
I wonder if one of those are the haunted ones.
They look like they could be haunted. And again, every time we talk to our fixer, he just says they're all haunted. So
Yeah.
I like how this direction is just fog.
Now, as for the question of the room, come on. We don't have to sugarcoat it. It's not great.
Well, it's sort of interesting.
Right.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell the freshest.
No.
There are some decor choices that I do like.
I like this like abstract textured wall.
I like the vibrant yellow of the bathroom and the nice bonus next to the toilet.
I get in, turn around.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Hello, sink. It's a small bath.
So we have like a hand washing sink next to the toilet over here, and I guess like a skincare sink with more space over here.
2 sinks, baby.
Not so bad, huh?
His and hers.
But I can't say that I'm a fan of the view, which is just the side of another tower about 5 feet away.
At least is nice and colorful,
Right.
but it's not a great view.
To round out our tour, we did do a bed drop.
Wait, I ran out of bed.
Sorry, 2 bed drops.
Listen, it's not great.
It's pretty hard. There's not a lot of plush action.
No plush. Yeah.
But I don't see any spots or anything.
No.
So overall, not a great room, but we'll live.
I will say, I really appreciate this fan just booking it. Like, it is seriously generating some wind. Because there is no AC.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there is no actual AC, then the fan's doing well.
Yes.
Now, it does seem to me, kind of like with some Vegas hotels, that the hotel room itself may just be a crash pad.
Come on out.
And you might want to spend most of your time outside of the room doing activities. So first up, we stopped by the Skytropolis Indoor Theme Park, which is really not too shabby. Actually, it's pretty nice and new and sizable.
I like how the indoor theme park is like way calmer than the LED panels outside.
Right.
The atrium is way more distracting than the theme park.
It's actually it's a little relaxing.
It's calmer.
They have a lot of carnival-esque rides, like a large Ferris wheel and this vomit machine, some carnival games with some enticing prizes, like some Sophia-sized giant bananas, occasionally a zipliner will fly through. There is one pretty legit roller coaster called the Super Glider, which is a lying down coaster. We did do this one, and it was kind of intense and very fast.
That was the most painful roller coaster I've ever experienced. That was great.
Because you're facing forward, there isn't that much of a dropping sensation, but because of the way you're strapped in, the majority of your weight does go on your chin.
Dude, my chin kind of hurts. A little. I think my chin was like getting jostled a little.
Yeah, you have like a cage on your head.
So that would be my only warning.
Your chin's gonna be going every 5 minutes.
But after some recovery time, our jaws were ready for dinner. And we did promise a celebrity chef restaurant.
Madam Kwan's, baby. Oh, there she is.
Madame Kwan is a Malaysian celebrity chef who is well known for being a successful restaurateur and the queen of nasi lemak, as well as for her signature hats. And she serves up Malaysian fare with a modern twist.
Could my shrimp be vibrating into the base of that stinger?
Karaoke will do it to you, man.
We tried a lot of things on the menu, but some highlights were the nasi bojari, which was Madame recommended, and came with tricolored rice, prawns, beef rendang, a boiled egg, which I vultured,
That's a nice egg.
and a fried chicken drumstick.
Oh, now it's good. This is so marinated.
Accidental dramatic food.
This is an awesome meal.
We also liked the fruit rojak, which is basically a crunchy peanut and sesame covered fruit and veggie salad with soft shell crab.
Soft shell crab is just like fried substance. It's very good.
And then, prompted by our durian brainwashing, we did also get a durian chendol for dessert, which is sort of like a shaved ice dish with a crown of Musang King durian on top.
So Is this just a pile of durian? Okay, it's not ice cream.
No, it's not ice cream. It's just durian and durian.
The durian did overpower most of the other flavors in the dish except for the red bean, which really held its own. I don't know if this will make sense, but together they kind of had a starchy, sweet chestnut type flavor.
I love that some ladies just melting in the background.
Yeah, she's just our background.
This is how the evening is unfolding at Resorts World, okay?
After dinner, we did check out the High Line, which is their open-air nightlife area on part of the roof of the mall,
This part's like partially outside.
Yeah,
It's kind of nice.
it's nice weather.
featuring a fair few bars and clubs, all of which were emanating the sweet, sweet sounds of karaoke. And another celebrity chef restaurant, Harry Ramsden's, which we had seen signs for all over and ignorantly thought was a knockoff Gordon Ramsay restaurant, I think because of the Rams prefix, but it turns out he is actually one of the OG fish and chips dudes.
I'm trying to think if I could manage fish and chips, but I don't think so. I'm very full.
Very cool.
So, sorry Harry Ramsden, I was not familiar with your game. But after a nice evening stroll, we knew we had a lot to do the next day, so we retired to our room.
We're watching The Shawshank Redemption on this TV, and there have been no commercials, and it's been like at least 45 minutes. So I'm pretty pleased.
And after concluding our evening with the best movie ending of all time,
Yes! Let's go!
it was off to bed. See you guys in the morning.
All right. Good night.
Now, our night was pretty uneventful. Room was fine, fan was nice, bed was firm, and thankfully we didn't experience any hauntings. We did also take showers this morning. The water pressure is quite good,
Very good.
but the towels are very sad.
Barely towels.
They're like thin cloths. There's like no body to them at all.
Advanced paper towels.
Yeah. I don't know how to express to you how much I don't like these towels on camera. And after saying goodbye forever to the cursed towels, our plan for the day was to hit the outdoor theme park. So we needed to fuel up and get some breakfast. And the weather was looking beautiful for us out the window.
Oh, everything was way less haunted than during the daytime.
That one over there looks nice, actually.
Yeah. But we did get very lost on the way to the breakfast buffet. Turns out the hotel is huge.
Maybe this is an 8
Yeah, it is really blue in here. That's not just the camera.
But after walking around for 30 minutes in the different towers,
We can't find breakfast.
No.
we're looking for it.
Oh, food factory. Is that right? It says food factory there.
That could be good. We finally found it. I won't go too much in on the breakfast buffet because it was extensive, but I thought the spread was quite good. Sweet, savory, Eastern, Western.